Hey everyone, let's just jump right into this explainer. If you've ever felt like achieving a state of flow or spiritual alignment was something that only happened by total accident, or like you had to sit around waiting for some massive grand revelation to change your life, well, you are absolutely gonna love what we're covering today. We are breaking down the exact mechanics of how spiritual transformation isn't a lightning strike moment, but rather a super practical, daily, and scientifically supported rhythm. So, here is our roadmap for the journey today. We'll start with the rhythm of transformation, then explore the science of coherence, move on to designing your daily flow, look at the Twilight Recalibration, and finally wrap up with surrendering to the mystery. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the rhythm of transformation, where we'll be shattering the awakening event, myth. So a lot of us have been totally conditioned to view awakening as an event, right? Like it's a final destination you reach after a singular earth-shattering moment. But the truth is, the quantum mystic doesn't live for moments of awakening. They live from them. It's all about daily attunement. Living in flow isn't about the total absence of effort. It's about finding that embodied presence and the right rhythm. Think of it exactly like a musician tuning their instrument before sitting down with an orchestra. You've got to tune your mind, your body, and your energy field every single day to actually play in harmony with the universe. Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, the science of coherence. This is where we validate the mystical with actual biology and physics. Greg Braden actually coined a brilliant term for this, the divine matrix. He suggests the universe is absolutely not just some cold, dead machine. No, it is a highly intelligent field. Think of it like a giant mirror, constantly reflecting our dominant emotional states right back at us as synchronicity, opportunity, or, well, challenge. So if you're constantly broadcasting fear, the mirror reflects challenges. If you're broadcasting coherence, boom, you get synchronicity. Our feelings are literally messages we send out into the fabric of reality. That means our emotional coherence is absolutely crucial. So that begs a pretty specific question, doesn't it? If we really need to send a clear, powerful signal into this mirror-like universe using our heart and brain, what is the optimal frequency for physiological and emotional alignment? Like, what's the exact biological target we're aiming for here? Well, the answer is 0.1 hertz. And no, that's not a metaphor. It's a literal, measurable electromagnetic signal that oscillates right from the heart. The Institute of Heart Math figured out that if we slow our breath, focus on the heart center, and consciously evoke elevated emotions, things like gratitude or deep compassion, our heart actually emits this exact 0.1 hertz frequency. It immediately informs your brain and your entire body that you are safe and aligned. It's basically a profound energetic reset button. And neuroscientist Joe Dispenza totally backs up this heart math science with neurochemistry. He reminds us that to truly change your life, you literally have to break the habit of being yourself. Transformation is an actual biological process. Because, as the old saying goes, neurons that fire together wire together. So to create a brand new self, you have to constantly override your habitual thoughts until that desired future you're aiming for isn't just a wish anymore, it's your literal state of being. Daniel Siegel adds another incredible layer to this with a concept he calls mindset. It's basically the ability to observe the inner workings of your own mind, acting as an internal compass for neural integration. When you practice mindful awareness, maybe that's breath focus, a quick body scan, or love and kindness meditation, you are actively strengthening the prefrontal cortex and the insula in your brain. You're physically shifting your nervous system out of total chaos and into profound integration. And Siegel notes that this integration leads directly to what he calls the phases state. That stands for flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. Now, this isn't some fluffy spiritual bypass, okay? This is the actual physiological foundation for flow. The more coherent your internal state is, the more stable your energetic field becomes. And the more stable you are, the clearer that 0.1 hertz signal is when you broadcast it out to the universe. Okay, moving on to Section 3, designing your daily flow. Let's translate all this heavy science into actual morning hygiene. To actually build this rhythm, your daily life has to be a deliberate act of quantum realignment. Think of it as a bi-directional ritual. You have your morning flow, which is all about creation and setting the tone, and then you balance that with your evening flow, which is for reflection, recalibration, and letting go of the day's tension. It completely replaces living by randomness with living by rhythm. If we look at Joe Dispenza's morning alignment routine, the key is what you do the second you wake up. Step 1, do not immediately react to your past.
Basically, leave your phone alone. Instead, use steps 2 and 3 to consciously invoke the energy of your future self. Visualize it and emotionally amplify it. And step 4, commit to it until it literally becomes a state of being. You are intentionally setting the tone for the day before the outside world can do it for you.
But it's not just the morning. We have to maintain that energy all day long. Think about it. Just like your physical body desperately needs a shower after a long day, your energy body accumulates emotional residue and psychic debris too. That's why daily energy hygiene is just non-negotiable. We're talking about grounding, doing some movement like yoga or qigong to get stagnant energy flowing, breath work to reset the vagus nerve, or even sound practices like chanting or listening to solfeggio tones. These aren't just fun little hobbies, they are absolutely required maintenance for clearing out the static. Now, as the day winds down, we hit section 4, the Twilight Recalibration, where we transition into evening routines and getting field feedback.
A huge part of this is journaling, but not just writing a diary entry about what you had for lunch. When done with real intention, your journal is a way to track field feedback. You're looking for synchronicities, moments of resistance, weird energy spikes, or intuitive pings you felt throughout the day. Your journal literally becomes a dynamic map of the unfolding now.
And that twilight hour itself, it is deeply sacred. In a lot of ancient traditions, dusk was specifically reserved for reflection because the veil feels a bit softer. The routine here is simple but powerful. First, sit in stillness or candlelight at dusk. Second, mentally reconcile the day to clear your field. And third, recalibrate your intention frequency before you go to sleep. Why? Because whatever frequency you hold as you drift off is exactly what your subconscious is going to rehearse and encode all night long. All right, let's zoom all the way out for our final segment, Section 5, Surrendering to the Mystery, where we'll look at the macro impact and the true power of presence. Dean Radin's empirical research offers some massive scientific support for this stuff with his noise reduction model. He studies how daily meditation literally quiets our cognitive noise. You see, psychic receptivity and intuition aren't superpowers you have to force. They are baseline potentials. When you quiet the static through consistent inner practice, your subtle perception just naturally rises to the surface. And this macro view shows exactly why your private quiet morning routine is actually a pretty big deal globally. Rupert Sheldrake theorizes this concept called morphic resonance. Basically, any habit practiced repeatedly becomes energetically easier, not just for you, but for anyone else across the collective consciousness. So your daily meditation stabilizes the collective field. It's kind of amazing to think about. Your private routine is literally a form of planetary service, carving a groove that makes it easier for others to awaken. But you know, despite all the incredible science, the biology, and the strict routines we've talked about today, we need to remember this one thing. Rituals are not magical in themselves. They're just containers for presence. And presence is the portal. You aren't forcing the universe to do your bidding here. The rituals just create the space. Ultimately, the path is a mystery we simply have to surrender to. And listen, the path is incredibly forgiving. Life is absolutely going to disrupt your flow at some point. You're gonna forget, you're gonna falter, and you'll probably wake up anxious on a random Wednesday and completely forget to breathe. That's fine. What matters isn't perfection, it is persistence, devotion, and just consistently returning to your attunement. Every single breath is a brand new doorway right back into the rhythm. So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder as you start designing your own daily flow. If the universe truly is a mirror, what signal will your daily rhythm reflect tomorrow morning? I really hope this explainer has empowered you to step fully into your rhythm, clear out the static, and properly tune your instrument for whatever comes next.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, Quantum Manifestation: How to Collapse Time and Shift Timelines. This isn't theory. It's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.